love you, Jesus. And we ask it in your holy name. And the people of God say, Amen. Amen. Give God a hand. I am delighted and rich and blessed to be in the presence of my dear friend, Dr. James King, to Lady Lisa, to Mama King, to Butch, to all of the King family, to all of the good members of this great church, the land of promise. It's good to be here. I often remember, look back, very often beginning of this beautiful church. God has tremendously blessed you all. Just this is my fortune, solitude. Every time I come, my life is enricher. And I thank God for friendship and love shown to me when I come to this great place. This place of God. Give God a hand. We go back to the double arms, this wonderful praise group, to wonderful ushers who standing on the wall, to all of God's children. Absolute joy to be in the presence of the Lord. God is here. Amen. How many believe that God is here? I had the opportunity to play golf tournament at about 12 points. 12 out of 13 today, 2 days. I certainly enjoy playing the game of golf, especially I look forward to the King's Cup every year, where the honor of a great man is still legacy. Got to be his son, see now his grandson who's taking up that legacy. Just had the honor to be a part. I won't hold you long. Just pray for just 1 few minutes. I want to call your attention to a passage of scripture that's found in John's Gospel. Talked about briefly this morning. In the Spirit. 5th chapter of the Gospel according to St. John. Great focus around that 7th verse. The 7th verse, the B part of the 7th verse. Pray that you will read this entire chapter when you go home and at your convenience. Spare moments that you may have to share with personal devotion with our Lord. 7th verse, I'm reading from the Revised Standard. Words may slightly differ, but the meaning and the content is that the same. Look at this. The sick man answered him, Sir, I have no man to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up. While I'm coming, another steps down before me. I want to stop right here. The emphasis on the B part of that 7th verse. Sir, I have no man. You make you see. I stated earlier, perhaps if you would look at this Gospel of John, many has considered him the eagle eye, right? Looks at the Gospel in a very panoramic view and discovers some things that's perhaps that is unique only to this Gospel that the other ones do not share, but in a different perspective. If one would look at the 7th verse and read it with the intent, the expression perhaps that was written in that ancient time, one will soon discover loneliness. Touch the person next to you and say loneliness. That big part of the 7th verse of chapter 5 outwardly displays the mindset of a very lonely man. I've had experiences you may have had of going to hospital rooms and convalescing places to visit or to carry a word of good news, word of hope from the gospel to some prospective individual, be that male or female. And so oftentimes, at least I've been in those rooms, no one is there but me and the individual perhaps that I'm visiting. And the question always comes to mind, how lonely that room is, just you and that person. And it comes to mind to ask the question, has anyone visited you today? Has anyone said any kindness to chat, any kindness with you, or sharing any goodness with you today? When is the last time that someone stopped by this room? And oftentimes I heard, Pastor, I don't get many visitors. But I wonder sometimes, by being in that loneliness of moments and time, does anyone really reach out? Or does anyone really care? I don't know if you've ever been lonely and out of that experience of being lonely, but I find that lonely is a one-way street that no one travels but perhaps that individual who's lonely. Now, have you ever had the opportunity to go into a shopping mall and nobody's in there but you, and how lonely it looks? To go in a marketplace or a supermarket and walk down the aisles and there's no one in there but you. How lonely and void that feeling is. I had the privilege not long ago of going to the movie theater to see a movie, and nobody was in the movie but me. Felt lonely. I didn't necessarily feel out of place, but I felt lonely. But which means there is a connection of being around somebody and sharing the space, or sharing some conversation, or sharing some moments of good news and character, of goodness about being in the company of another person. And so don't ever get confused by the fact that when one is by himself, that he does not need someone else with him. I think all of us need somebody's company, or somebody's conversation, or just an encouraging word from a stranger. And that's why I feel that this chapter relates a sense of loneliness. Let me look at this just for a moment, if you would, and your patience. This chapter starts out by talking about and explaining a place where those individuals who are infected or diseased or suffering from some type of ailment. And here in this chapter there is a great happening, a spiritual awakening, perhaps, and a revival, a sense of perhaps of good health. But it's only significant to one individual. Because the text says that at a certain time, an angel will be dispatched from heaven to come down to this sheep's gate, which is in name, the marketplace or pool, where people who were lame and had various illness were taken to. And at that troubling of the water, the one who would get in first would be made whole of his infirmity. Here's a man who had been in this place, this same place, for 38 years. 38 years. 38 years. With the expectancy, perhaps the idea that this is my year, this is my time, this is my moment. And just before the troubling of the water, a position is taken. He sort of gets in place, and when the angel comes down to trouble the water, to make things ready for a new healing, a new miracle, someone gets in. Yes, someone beats him to that moment. Have you ever experienced when you know it's your blessing, but someone has an opportunity to be blessed maybe before you, and you feel as though perhaps that you're riding on the wave of a second blessing, or perhaps that you're finishing up second, or perhaps that you are not in the right place, or it's not your season. And it sort of brings about a sense of perhaps maybe I need to do a little bit more, or perhaps try to get a little bit things better in order. And maybe though it's really not my time, but I'm so tired of being second. I'm so tired of not getting to the proper place. I'm not really sure that I can get home. So it brings us a sense of letdown of mind, and you come content at where you are, knowing that you may not really get the prize.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what's happened to this man. He gets content with the idea I may not get in. I may not have my moment to be blessed. Perhaps 30 years done passed me. 38 years have passed me. In fact, I didn't get my blessing. And so sometimes we are resolved to the fact that that's not just for us. You ever felt that way? That it's just not for me. That blessing is not going to be mine. Or I'm not going to have my opportunity because I've been coming this long and nothing has happened yet. And so therefore, it has to work on the mind. It has to bring about a sense of loneliness. It sort of makes one feel bored and incomplete. That's just human psyche. One feels totally let down. Listen, help me with this. When you're at your worst, there is somebody who knows you even at your best. When it seems as though that there is no real hope for you, someone knows about your greatness. And sometimes your greatness is not in being first. Mark this. Maybe your greatness is not being in that moment. Or maybe it's not in that particular blessing, but someone knows that there is some greatness about you. The text says that Jesus shows up. And I'm convinced that when Jesus shows up, it's always a good time. Tell your neighbor, when Jesus shows up, it's a good time. And in fact, when Jesus shows up, he already knows what you're about. He's not bored in who you are. He's not confined in your circumstances. He's not